parking garage is empty, just concrete and oil stains and the smell of exhaust that never quite leaves. Past midnight. Most of the cars are gone. The party upstairs ended an hour ago, but Bruce Lee is still here, waiting. He leans against his car, a beat-up Chevy, nothing fancy. The engine ticks as it cools. He's still wearing his suit from the event, black, simple. The tie is loose now, top button undone. He looks tired. This is the Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles, February 1970. There was some industry party upstairs, producers, directors, studio people. Bruce went because his agent said he should, said it would be good for his career. Bruce hated every minute of it. He checks his watch, 12:15. Victor should have been here by now. Victor Chang, a martial artist from San Francisco, Wing Chun practitioner. He's been sending letters to Bruce for 6 months, challenging him, saying Bruce has abandoned traditional kung fu, saying Bruce's Jeet Kune Do is disrespectful to the old masters, saying if Bruce was really skilled, he'd prove it. Bruce ignored the first few letters, threw them away. But Victor kept writing. The letters got more aggressive, more personal. Started saying things about Bruce's students, about his wife, about his son Brandon, who's only 4 years old. That crossed a line. Bruce finally wrote back. Said if Victor wanted to settle this, they could meet face to face. No audience, no cameras, just the two of them. Find out once and for all if Jeet Kune Do works or if Bruce is just a fraud. Victor agreed immediately. Suggested tonight after the party in the parking garage where nobody would see. Bruce said fine. But now Bruce is wondering if this was a mistake. Fighting in a parking garage at midnight. Nothing good comes from this. If he wins, he proves nothing. Just that he can beat one man. If he loses, his reputation is destroyed. His students lose faith. Everything he's built collapses. He hears footsteps echoing through the garage. Someone walking, heavy steps, confident. Victor appears from behind a concrete pillar. He's wearing street clothes, jeans, t-shirt, canvas shoes. He's bigger than Bruce expected, maybe 5'11", 180 pounds. Solid, built like someone who trains hard. Behind Victor are 2 other men, both Chinese, both around the same age, early 30s. They stop a few car lengths back, not getting involved, just watching. You came, Victor says. I said I would. I half expected you to back out. Send your students to make excuses. I don't make excuses. Victor walks closer, stops about 10 feet away. He's looking at Bruce with contempt, disgust almost. You know what you are? A sellout. You took our traditional arts and watered them down for white people, made them soft, commercial. You're an embarrassment to every real martial artist. Bruce doesn't react, just listens. Wing Chun is a complete system, Victor continues. It doesn't need your modifications, your improvements, your Jeet Kune Do nonsense. All you've done is confuse people, made them think they can just pick and choose techniques like ordering from a menu. Are you done? Bruce's voice is calm, even. No. I want you to know why I'm doing this. It's not personal anger, it's principle. You're leading people astray, teaching them incomplete techniques. I'm telling them to abandon tradition. Someone needs to show them you're wrong. And that someone is you. That someone is me. Bruce pushes off from his car, stands up straight. Okay, let's see. Victor settles into a Wing Chun stance. Proper form, textbook. His left foot forward, hands up, elbows in. Everything exactly how the traditional schools teach it. Bruce stands naturally, no stance, just normal posture. Feet shoulder-width apart, hands relaxed. To anyone watching, he looks completely unprepared. You're not even going to get ready? Victor asks. I'm ready. This is what I'm talking about. No respect for proper form. No respect for structure. You just stand there like a street brawler. Form doesn't win fights. Understanding wins fights. Victor's face hardens. Let's test that. He moves forward. D throws a chain punch, the classic Wing Chun attack. Rapid-fire straight punches aimed at the center line, fast, powerful, the kind of technique that overwhelms most people. Bruce's hands come up, not blocking, deflecting, redirecting. Each of Victor's punches gets guided past Bruce's body, missing by inches. Bruce makes it look effortless. Victor resets, tries again. Same technique, same result. His punches hit nothing but air. They're not alone. Bruce notices now. More people have appeared, coming out from behind pillars, from between cars. Victor's friends probably. Here to watch, here to witness Victor expose Bruce Lee as a fraud. Bruce counts them. 5, plus the 2 who came with Victor. 7 people total in this garage. 7 witnesses to whatever's about to happen. Victor changes tactics, stops trying to punch. Instead, he steps in close, tries to trap Bruce's arms. Wing Chun Chi Sao, sticky hands, where you control your opponent's arms and strike from close range. His hands find Bruce's forearms, make contact, try to stick, try to control. But Bruce's arms move like water, Flowing, changing, never staying where Victor expects them. Victor's trying to grab smoke. Then Bruce does something Victor doesn't expect. He stops evading, stops flowing. His arms suddenly stick to Victor's, make real contact, proper Chi Sao position. Victor smiles, finally. This is where Wing Chun excels. Close range, arm contact, sensitivity. This is where traditional training beats Bruce's modified approach. Victor tries to push forward, tries to disrupt Bruce's structure, tries to create an opening. Nothing works. Bruce's structure is perfect, immovable. Like trying to push a wall. Victor tries pulling instead, tries to make Bruce lean forward, tries to break his balance. Still nothing. Bruce's weight is rooted, connected to the ground. Victor might as well be pulling a tree. Then Bruce moves. Just a small shift in his body, a rotation of his waist, a subtle step. And suddenly Victor is off balance. His weight is forward, his structure is broken, he's exposed. Bruce's palm shoots forward, strikes Victor's chest right over the heart. Not hard, not trying to damage, just placement. A message. That could have been a real hit. Victor stumbles back, catches himself. His face is red, embarrassed. This isn't going how he planned. The 7 witnesses are quiet, watching. Some of them look uncertain now. Victor was supposed to dominate, supposed to expose Bruce. And instead, Bruce is making him look ordinary. "Is that it?" Bruce asks. "Is that your traditional Wing Chun, the complete system that doesn't need modification?" Victor's jaw tightens. "I'm just getting started." He comes in again, more aggressive now, less controlled. His pride is hurt, his ego is driving. He throws a kick, low, aimed at Bruce's knee. A good technique, smart targeting. Bruce checks it with his shin, minimal movement. The kick bounces off harmlessly. Victor follows with a punch, then another kick, then an elbow. He's mixing it up now, using everything he knows. Not just Wing Chun, some other material too. Karate maybe, or Taekwondo, anything that might work. Bruce handles all of it, slipping, blocking, redirecting. Never looks stressed, never looks worried. Just responding, like this is a drill. Like Victor's not even trying to hurt him. And that's what finally breaks Victor. He's been training his whole life. 20 years of dedicated practice. He's good, really good. He's beaten everyone in his school, everyone in San Francisco. He came here confident, certain, knowing he was right, knowing he'd prove that Bruce was wrong. Instead, he can't land a single clean technique, can't even touch Bruce unless Bruce lets him. It's humiliating, infuriating, unacceptable. Victor rushes forward, abandons all technique, just attacks, wild, desperate, trying to overwhelm Bruce through pure aggression. Bruce sidesteps, simple, easy. Victor's momentum carries him past. He's off balance, exposed. Bruce could end it right there, could strike, could sweep his legs, could put him down. But he doesn't. He just lets Victor stumble past. She gives him another chance. Victor spins around. He's breathing hard now, not from exertion, from emotion, from frustration, from the realization that he's completely outmatched. "Stop playing with me," Victor shouts. "Fight for real." "I am fighting for real. You're just not landing anything." "Because you keep running. Stand and fight like a man." Bruce's expression hardens. "I'm not running. You're just too slow to catch me." That does it. Victor completely loses control. He screams, actually screams, raw anger and frustration. Then he charges, head down, arms reaching, trying to tackle Bruce, trying to bring this to the ground where size might matter more. Bruce doesn't move, doesn't evade. He meets the charge head on. His knee comes up, fast, precise, catches Victor right in the solar plexus as Victor's running into it. The timing is perfect. Victor's own momentum plus Bruce's strike equals devastating force. The sound is ugly. A wet thud, like someone punching a side of beef. Victor stops, just stops completely. His arms drop, his mouth opens, no sound comes out. He's trying to breathe, but nothing works. The diaphragm has completely shut down. His face goes from red to pale. His eyes are wide, panicked. He can't breathe, can't get air. His hands go to his stomach, clutching, trying to make it work. Bruce steps back, watches, makes no move to help. Victor drops to his knees, then to all fours, gasping, making horrible sounds. His whole body is trying to remember how to breathe. The 7 witnesses are frozen. Nobody moves, nobody speaks. This stopped being a demonstration. This became something else, something brutal, something real. After what feels like forever, but is probably only 15 seconds, Victor manages a breath. A small one, painful. Then another. The connection is slowly returning. He sits back on his heels, one hand still on his stomach. His face is covered in sweat. He looks up at Bruce. The anger is gone. The contempt. The certainty. replaced by something else, fear maybe, or understanding, the realization that he was wrong about everything. "I pulled that," Bruce says quietly. "If I hadn't, you'd be in surgery right now." Victor doesn't respond. Can't yet. Still trying to get his breathing fully under control. One of the 7 witnesses steps forward. Older Chinese man, maybe 50. He's wearing a traditional silk jacket. Looks like a sifu, a teacher. "That's enough," the man says. His voice carries authority. "Victor challenged you. You've proven your point. Let it end here." Bruce looks at him. "Who are you?" "I'm Victor's teacher. I trained him. I'm responsible for him." "Then you should teach him to choose his battles more carefully." "I tried. He didn't listen. Young men rarely do." The teacher walks over to Victor, helps him to his feet. Victor can stand now, but he's unsteady, shaky. The teacher supports him. "You're Jeet Kune Do," the teacher says to Bruce. "It works. I can see that now. But it's incomplete." Bruce raises an eyebrow. "Incomplete? You've mastered the physical, the techniques, the applications, but you haven't mastered the spirit. You enjoy this. Enjoy proving you're better. That's ego. That's the opposite of what martial arts should teach." Bruce is quiet for a moment. The words sting because they're partially true. He did enjoy parts of this. And enjoyed showing Victor that all his certainty was wrong. Enjoyed demonstrating that traditional approaches have limitations. "Maybe," Bruce finally says, "but Victor didn't come here for a philosophy lesson. He came here to fight, to prove I'm a fraud. I just showed him the truth. By humiliating him. By being honest. Would you rather I let him win? Let him keep believing that his traditional training is complete? Let him keep challenging people until he meets someone who actually hurts him?" The teacher considers this. "Perhaps you're right. Perhaps this lesson was necessary. But be careful, Bruce Lee. There's a difference between teaching and punishment. Tonight looked more like the latter." He starts to lead Victor away toward the exit. The other witnesses follow. Slowly. Quietly. Nobody makes eye contact with Bruce. They all saw what happened, all saw Victor get destroyed. Some of them probably came here hoping to see Bruce exposed. Instead, they saw the opposite. As they're leaving, Victor stops, turns back, looks at Bruce. "I was wrong," Victor says. His voice is hoarse, rough. "About you, about Jeet Kune Do, about everything." "I know. Can you teach me?" The question surprises Bruce. After everything that just happened, Victor wants to learn from him. "Why would you want that?" "Because you just showed me that everything I thought I knew is incomplete. The 20 years of traditional training isn't enough. That understanding beats technique. I want to understand what you understand." Bruce looks at him for a long moment. Victor's face is sincere. The arrogance is gone, the hostility. In its place is humility, the willingness to learn. "Come to my school," Bruce says. "Los Angeles, Chinatown, Tuesday evenings, 7 p.m. If you're serious about learning, I'll teach you." "I'm serious." "We'll see." Victor and his teacher leave. The witnesses follow. Soon, Bruce is alone again in the parking garage. Just him and his car and the oil stains. He stands there for a few minutes, coming down from the adrenaline. His hands are shaking slightly. Not from fear, from the intensity of what just happened, from holding back, from controlling the violence instead of letting it flow. That knee strike. If he'd thrown it full power, Victor would be in the hospital. Maybe worse. The solar plexus is dangerous. Hit it right and you can stop someone's heart. Bruce knows this, has trained it, has thought about it. Tonight he used maybe 30% power. Just enough to make the point without causing permanent damage. But it was close. Too close. If Victor had zigged instead of zagged, if the timing had been slightly different, if Bruce's control had slipped for even a fraction of a second, this is why Bruce doesn't like these challenges, these ego battles. There's too much at stake, too many ways for things to go wrong. Someone could get seriously hurt, could die. And for what? To prove a point? To defend a philosophy? To show that one approach to martial arts is better than another? None of it matters if someone ends up dead. Bruce gets in his car, starts the engine, sits there for a moment before driving away. Linda is going to ask what happened. She always knows when something's wrong. Bruce will have to decide how much to tell her. All of it? Some of it? Nothing? But he decides on some of it, enough that she knows he's okay. Not so much that she worries about police, about lawsuits, about the 7 witnesses who saw what happened and might talk. The drive home is quiet. Late night Los Angeles, empty streets, traffic lights changing for nobody. Bruce's mind replays the fight, analyzing it, what worked, what didn't, what he could have done differently. The knee strike was necessary. Victor wasn't going to stop unless Bruce forced him to stop. All the dodging, all the demonstrations, none of it was getting through. Victor needed to feel real consequence, needed his body to shut down, needed that moment of terror when breathing stops and panic sets in. Only then did he understand. Only then did his ego break. Only then was he ready to learn. Bruce pulls into his driveway. Small house, nothing fancy. The lights are on inside. Linda waited up. He walks in. She's sitting on the couch, reading a book. She looks up when he enters. "How was the party?" "Fine, boring." "You're home late." "I had to take care of something after." She sees something in his face, sets down the book. "What happened?" Bruce sits next to her, thinks about how to explain. "Remember those letters I was getting from that guy in San Francisco? The one who kept challenging you?" "Yeah, him. He was here tonight, wanted to settle things." Linda's face changes. Worry, concern, fear. "You fought him?" "We had a discussion." "Bruce?" "He's fine. Bruised ego, bruised stomach. But he's fine." "Where did this happen?" "Parking garage at the Ambassador." "Who else was there?" 7 people, his friends, his teacher, witnesses." Linda stands up, starts pacing. "This is bad. See, this is exactly the kind of thing that can ruin careers. 7 witnesses to an underground fight. If word gets out, the studios will drop him. The police might get involved. Everything they've worked for could disappear." "Did anyone take photos?" "I don't think so. It was dark. They weren't expecting it to go how it went." "How did it go?" Bruce is quiet for a moment. "I won. Decisively. He challenged me. I showed him why that was a mistake." "Did you hurt him?" "I controlled it. Could have been much worse, but I pulled everything. He'll be sore for a week, that's all." "And the witnesses? What are they going to do?" "I don't know. His teacher seemed reasonable. Seemed like he understood. But the others? Hard to say." Linda sits back down, puts her head in her hands. "This could destroy everything." "I know." "Then why did you do it?" "Because he wasn't going to stop. The letters were getting worse, more personal. Started talking about you, about Brandon. I couldn't let that continue." "So you beat him up in a parking garage." "I defended myself, and I taught him a lesson he needed to learn." They sit in silence for a few minutes, both thinking, both worrying, both knowing that the next few days will determine if this becomes a problem or just fades away. "What if he goes to the police?" Linda asks. "He won't. He challenged me. He has witnesses who saw that. He'd be admitting to starting a fight. Plus his ego won't let him. Can't admit that Bruce Lee destroyed him. Better to stay quiet." "What about his teacher? The other witnesses?" "Same logic. They're all part of the traditional martial arts community. They don't want this story getting out either. Makes them look bad. Makes their approach look weak." Linda wants to believe him, wants to trust that this will blow over, but she's worried, has every right to be worried. "No more challenges," she says firmly. "No more meeting people in parking garages. No more proving points. If someone writes you a letter, ignore it. If someone calls you out, walk away. We can't risk this again." Bruce nods. "Okay. Promise me." "I promise." But even as he says it, Bruce knows it's not that simple. Word will spread. Tonight's fight will become a story. Victor will tell some people. His teacher will tell others. The 7 witnesses will talk. By next week, everyone in the martial arts community will know. Bruce Lee fought Victor Chang in a parking garage. Bruce Lee won. Brutally. And when that story spreads, more challenges will come. More people wanting to test themselves, wanting to prove that their style is better, their training is complete, their approach is superior. Bruce is trapped. If he refuses, he looks weak. If he accepts, he risks his career. Either way, he loses. The next day, Bruce goes to his school. Tuesday evening, 7 p.m., his regular class, 15 students all waiting, all eager to learn. He teaches them like always. Wing Chun principles, Jeet Kune Do applications, how to adapt, how to respond, how to understand rather than just memorize. But his mind is elsewhere. Thinking about last night, about Victor, about the 7 witnesses, about what happens next. Class ends at 9. Students leave. But Bruce is cleaning up when someone knocks on the door. He opens it. Victor is standing there. His face is bruised, not badly, just some discoloration around his ribs where Bruce's knee landed. He moves carefully, like everything hurts. "You came," Bruce says. "I said I would. Most people say a lot of things. I'm not most people." Bruce steps aside, lets Victor in. The school is quiet now, empty except for the 2 of them. "Your teacher know you're here?" Bruce asks. "No, I didn't tell him. He wouldn't understand." "Understand what?" "Why I need to learn from you. He thinks I should stick to traditional training, master what he's taught me before looking elsewhere. But after last night," Victor touches his ribs, winces. "After last night, I realized there's a whole level of skill I don't have, don't even understand. You weren't just better than me. You were operating on a completely different level. Bruce nods. Sit down. They sit on the floor, cross-legged, facing each other. Why did you challenge me? Bruce asks. Really, not the material about tradition, the real reason. Victor's quiet for a moment, thinking. Because I was scared. Scared of what? Of being irrelevant. I've spent 20 years mastering Wing Chun, learning forms, practicing Chisao, studying with the best teachers, and then you come along saying all of that is incomplete, that tradition isn't enough, that we need to adapt, to evolve, to question everything. Victor looks down at his hands. If you're right, then everything I've done is wasted. 20 years of my life dedicated to something that's incomplete. That's terrifying. So I convinced myself you were wrong. That you were a sellout, that you'd watered down the arts to make them commercial, that confronting you would prove tradition still works. And now? Now I know I was lying to myself. You're not wrong. Tradition is incomplete, not useless, not worthless, but incomplete. And if I want to keep growing, I need to accept that. Bruce studies him, seeing sincerity, seeing humility, the kind that only comes from getting humbled. I'll teach you, Bruce says, but not because I want another student, because I think you're ready to actually learn. Last night you weren't ready. Last night you came here to prove me wrong. Tonight you're here to understand why you were wrong. That's different. What do I need to do? First, forget everything you think you know about winning and losing. Forget about proving your style is better. Forget about defending tradition. None of that matters. Then what does matter? Understanding. Every fight is different. Every opponent is different. Every situation is different. What worked last time might not work this time. What your teacher taught you might not apply here. You have to be willing to adapt, to respond to what's actually happening, not what you wish was happening. Victor nods. That's what you did last night. You adapted to everything I threw at you. Because I wasn't fighting Wing Chun versus Jeet Kune Do. I was fighting you, Victor. A specific person with specific tendencies, specific patterns, specific weaknesses. Once I understood those, the style didn't matter. They trained for 2 hours. Bruce teaching, Victor learning. Breaking down the fight from last night, showing Victor where his structure broke, where his weight got caught, where his assumptions made him predictable. It's humbling for Victor. Every mistake pointed out, every assumption challenged, every technique questioned, but he takes it, absorbs it, tries to understand. By the end of 2 hours, Victor looks exhausted, not physically, mentally. His whole framework for understanding martial arts has been dismantled. Now he has to rebuild it, piece by piece, with new principles, new assumptions, new understanding. Same time next week? Bruce asks. I'll be here. Victor leaves. Bruce watches him go, thinking about transformation, about how defeat can be a teacher, how humiliation can be a doorway, how the worst moments sometimes lead to the best growth. The 7 witnesses never talk. The story doesn't spread, at least not widely. Some whispers in the martial arts community. Some rumors, but nothing concrete, nothing that reaches the studios or the police or the media. Victor becomes one of Bruce's best students, not because he's the most talented, because he's the most dedicated, the most willing to question, the most eager to understand. Years later, after Bruce has died at 32, after the world knows him from movies and television and legend, Victor is asked about Bruce, about training with him, about what he learned. Victor always tells the same story, about how he challenged Bruce, about how he was certain he'd win, about how Bruce destroyed him in a parking garage with 7 witnesses, about how that destruction was the best thing that ever happened to him. Bruce didn't just beat me that night, Victor says. He showed me that everything I thought I knew was incomplete. That tradition without understanding is just choreography. That forms without application are just dance. That 20 years of training means nothing if you can't adapt. Was it brutal? People ask. The fight? Victor touches his ribs. Even years later, remembers the impact of that knee. It was necessary. I needed to be broken before I could be rebuilt. Bruce understood that. He controlled the violence just enough to make the point without causing permanent damage. That's true mastery, not the ability to destroy, the ability to control destruction. The story of that night lives on, becomes one of those underground legends. Bruce Lee's most brutal fight. 7 witnesses, a parking garage, a challenge that ended in complete domination. Most people don't believe it, think it's exaggerated, embellished. How could Bruce Lee, who weighed 140 pounds, completely destroy a 180-pound Wing Chun master? How could it happen so fast? How could it be so one-sided? But the 7 witnesses know. They saw it, felt it. The energy in that garage changed that night. Violence hung in the air like electricity. One wrong move and someone could have died. Bruce controlled it, channeled it, used exactly enough force to make his point without going further. That's what made it brutal. Not the damage, the control, the precision, the demonstration of power held in check. That's what the seven witnesses remember, not the techniques, not the styles, the control, the mastery, the understanding that true skill isn't about maximum force, it's about appropriate force. Just enough, no more. And that lesson, learned in a parking garage at midnight with only 7 people watching, it became one of the most important demonstrations Bruce Lee ever gave. Not because it was public, because it was private, because it was real, because it showed that everything he taught wasn't just philosophy. It was practical, applicable, proven. The 7 witnesses never forgot. Neither did Victor. Neither did Bruce. Some fights aren't about winning. They're about teaching, about understanding, about showing someone a truth they need to see but can't accept through words alone. That night in the parking garage, Bruce taught that truth. Brutally, necessarily, perfectly, and only 7 people witnessed it.